She slices through the water at more than 30 knots, the newest edition of the biggest fighting machine ever built. 60,000 tons of steel and 4.5 acres of flight deck, carrying America's war on terror to the mountains of Afghanistan. In this hour, you'll go inside and see things no outsider has ever seen before. The top secret intelligence operation, the high-tech command and control center, a coalition boarding party as it searches for Al-Qaeda leaders on the high seas, and a fighter mission off the deck and deep into Afghanistan. You'll also meet some of the extraordinary young people for whom all of this is just another day at the office, thousands of miles from home.
These guys, they're warriors, and that's why we're out here.
Come aboard the USS John C. Stennis.
Board out, check it!
From NBC News, Ship at War, inside the carrier Stennis.
7 Americans are known to be prisoners of war, including the 2-man crew of that downed Apache helicopter, and 5 soldiers from the Army's 507th Maintenance Company.
This is the way they looked when we first met them, right after their capture in Iraq.
My name is Edgar from the United States.
Their families wondering if they would ever see them alive again.
What's your name?
Shauna.
Shana? Where do you come from?
Texas.
And this is the very different way they look now, when Dateline gathered 5 members of the 507th Maintenance Company for their first interview since their rescue.
It's amazing that we're alive even now. I'm just grateful to be here.
A band of brothers and 1 sister soldier, survivors of an Iraqi ambush on a day that cost many American lives.
Machine gun fire?
Yes.
Small weapons fire?
Yeah. The truck was getting hit. I was ducking up under the dash and popping up just to make sure I was still on the road. I could see the bullets bouncing off the hood, and just, it was coming from everywhere.
In the chaos, what did they see as they looked into the wreckage of the Humvee carrying 5 of their comrades, including Jessica Lynch?
There was no movement in there, a lot of blood.
Do you remember what you thought when you saw that?
Heartbreak. Because you just knew that they were all gone. But we had to keep going.
As the Iraqi cameras rolled, what were they thinking?
I was very angry. They put that camera in front of my face, and all I could think about, name, rank, social, and stared dead straight in that camera.
What's your name?
Specialist Joseph Hudson, 585-65.
And I'm sitting in my own pool of blood.
What pulled them through their darkest hours in captivity?
I did wonder if I was gonna die, but at the same time, I never lost faith with God. I kept praying the whole time I was there.
And what was it like to see those American rescuers?
Wonderful Marines came kicking down the door.
A beautiful sight.
Beautiful.
And a young man coming up to me, "Ma'am, United States Marine Corps, I'm taking you home."
Ambush, the story of the 507th, a Dateline exclusive.
We heard that rumble that nobody's ever heard before, a 110-story building coming down.
Got knocked down the stairs. I just remember laying down, okay, this is it. This is how it ends for me.
On the Tuesday that thousands rushed out in terror, their job was to rush in.
I remember the people as we're going up, touching us and saying, "God bless you. Take care. Be careful."
They were inside at the very moment the world came crashing down.
The whole building was shaking. After I got blown backwards, I found my helmet and I said a Hail Mary.
My wife and my children flashed in front of me, and then I prayed. I said, please, God, make it quick.
Somehow, in this shattering shower of steel and crush of concrete, they were alive. And in stopping to save a life, they may have saved their own.
Out of nowhere, we find Josephine. She must have been sent to us for a reason.
Tonight, from the ashes, 7 men and an angel.
You know what they say? They say you are their guardian angel.
If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today.
And now, for the first time, they meet again.
Oh, Nick, so nice to see you.
Thank you for saving our lives.
Oh, thank you for saving my life.
Stone Phillips with an extraordinary story.
You look at 7 miracles.
The Miracle of Ladder Company 6, a Dateline special. That morning, these air traffic controllers witnessed it all.
I very quietly turned to the supervisor and I said, I think something is seriously wrong with this plane.
They were handling those 4 flights when they were hijacked. A lost signal.
I said, American 11, is that you? And then came the next transmission.
A chilling message. A horrifying sight.
He pointed out the window and said, look at the World Trade Center.
The nightmare in the making. From the first clues to the terrible finish.
Our skies were turned into a war zone.
And then they accomplished what has never been done before. They cleared the skies to save more lives.
To land almost 5,000 airplanes without a single error is a feat of airmanship that I don't think will ever be equaled.
Tonight on Dateline, for the first time, the air traffic controllers in charge of those doomed flights tell Tom Brokaw what they saw and heard and did. As America remembers. Tonight on Dateline.
You are looking at the great bow of the Titanic, a legend entombed on the ocean floor. Tonight, witness television history as these daring explorers go on a dangerous mission to uncover the stories that lay in a muddy grave at the bottom of the North Atlantic. Dateline cameras take you where no cameras have ever gone, penetrating the darkness to capture the essence of a life that was.
Almost automatically you say, oh my God.
And you will watch as scientists test their own courage, trying to do what they failed to do 2 years ago, lift a 20-ton chunk of Titanic's hull.
What we decided was find a piece of the hull itself that when you put your finger and pointed at it, you said, that's Titanic.
Our cameras record this unprecedented mission every step of the way, so you can watch history being made. Join us for Raising the Titanic, a very special Dateline Discovery Channel exclusive.
This image of, oh, she's determined and persistent like a machine, you know, like I would do anything I want, I just do anything to get it and I push. It's not true.
I love sex, I'm a very sexual person. I love my husband and we have great sex and I'm very hungry for life.
To be sex symbol, as they say, sex symbol. I think that I like that very much. I always like to seduce and to be seduced, as a matter of fact, yes, I think it's fun.
Do you remember the look on your face when your water bra sprung a leak?
What are you talking about?
That was God. Wait, should we all pretend we just saw it? Ready?
Oh, Deborah, you're the best.
Yeah, your breasts were awfully big.
The humor has really, really saved
Is
us.
the humor real?
Yeah.
It's not just the act?
No, the humor is very, very real. I mean, when we were around Ennis's grave, we held hands. No minister. We wanted to deal with Ennis, and we wanted to deal with God on our own without someone else's words. And I said, okay, now everybody, we want to thank God for giving Ennis to us. Now that sentence I just said to you 9 months ago, I could never get through that.
Dysfunctional is a mild way of saying what went down in my family.
I have been to numerous treatment centers. I know it. The kids know it. My 17-year-old knows it. My 18-year-old knows it. My 13-year-old knows it.
You can say lots of things about me, and you might, and so might lots of other people. The public may think I'm weird. They may think I'm crazy, or anything that anyone wants to think about me. That's all fine, as long as one of the things you're not thinking about me is that I'm a pedophile, because that's not true.
She had hit before, but never over and over and over and over and over into the head.
So, and what are you doing, just covering up?
I'm covering like this, my face, and so she wouldn't hit me in the nose, and I'm trying to grab her hand at the same time.
Well, I'm not technically dragging him, you know.
You weren't
pulling him around on this leash like an animal?
No, you can see there's, it's not tight, it's loose.
A lot of people despise you. Think you're a snake oil salesman. Think you're slicker than slick. Is that hard?
No, not at all. I did my job. I make no apologies for that. I did my job. And in the course of doing my job, I don't endorse any domestic violence. I don't endorse murder. But what I do, I endorse justice.
And that's the way it is. Friday, March 6th, 1981.
But the way it was off camera may surprise you.
When I finished the broadcast that night and the cameras were off, I threw the script up in the air and said, "School's out." And that's the way I felt.
That terrible self-doubt where I thought, I don't even know what I'm doing here. And almost going blank and forgetting words and undermining yourself? What did the psychoanalysts say about that? It drove me into psychoanalysis, actually.
For more than 25 years, we've watched Jane Pauley tell other people's stories. Tonight, she's telling her own.
Turns out Jane Pauley's life wasn't charmed.
3 years ago, she was diagnosed and hospitalized with bipolar disorder.
My moods were dangerously swinging. It's a bungee cord effect.
Now, in her most revealing interview, a side of Jane Pauley you've never seen.
I knew where I was. I absolutely knew where I was. I just didn't know who I was.
From the first signs of her illness
I burst into tears.
to the family secret that changed Jane's view of herself.
I saw file after file slugged Daddy.
She talks about her struggle with humor
Hives is just the stupidest sounding word. It's like a clown malady.
and honesty, revealing the lows.
You were under suicide watch.
I don't think I realized that.
And what it was like to let go of a perfect image.
I get the impression that you have never been better prepared to be yourself.
For the first time in my life, I'm pretty clear on who that is.
Jane Pauley, Out of the Blue, when Dateline with Stone Phillips continues.